Hi, I'm Beck. I'm a psychologist and I've got a new label for ADHD and I call it life passionate. So, you meet criteria for ADHD, as most of us do living in society as it stands. What if we were to reframe that as life passionate? A lot of things capture your attention, a lot of things draw your interest. You're scattered across a lot of different activities, and perhaps as a child, that looked like starting a project and then not finishing it, and then getting really interested in calligraphy for about 2 seconds, and then you started making kites. I don't know, however that manifested for you. Or maybe it was later in life where you started one line of study, didn't finish it, got interested in something else, dropped out, did something else. Life passionate. Lots of different things capture your attention. The only time this becomes dysfunctional, because it's actually quite a beautiful quality, the only time it gets us into trouble is when you pair it with a dysregulated nervous system. And the reason that that gets us into trouble, if we're life passionate and we also have a dysregulated nervous system, is because there's an element of fear that is introduced with a dysregulated nervous system. There is some sort of rigidity or restriction, fear response, fight or flight response that kicks in. And once that element of fear is introduced to our life passionate system, our mind needs to attach a story to why that fear is there. It's trying to rationalize it, it's trying to understand it. Ultimately, it's trying to resolve it. But as the mind tends to do, creating more problems for itself than it solves, the stories it then makes around the fear become core beliefs or limiting beliefs that we then store in our body, that then start to shape our behavior, that then start to shape our actions and guide our actions. And here we are, firmly landed in self-sabotage. So our dysregulated nervous system, coupled with life passionate, then starts to make up stories about our defectiveness and how flawed we are and what's wrong with us and why is everybody else X, Y, Z, and any story to explain the suffering that is introduced to our system that was energized and passionate about everything and wanted to just try everything and couldn't sit still and is just excited to be here. Then once fear is introduced to that, the stories start, and here we are in suffering. And that's when we start to sabotage ourselves because of those, not because of the life passionateness or the ADHD or whatever you want to call it. It's not because of that. That's not the issue. The issue is the stories we then attach to those behaviors that, once coupled with that fear response or the dysregulated nervous system, start to negatively impact our life. And they do. And I'm not discounting that, and I'm not invalidating the suffering that can come with that presentation. But the suffering isn't necessarily to do with the condition itself. It's more the stories that come with that dysregulated nervous system response. Do you see how tightly connected fear and dysregulated nervous system are? One is the other. They feed the other in a cycle. That's what the fight or flight response is. And once we're operating in that fear, we're looking for fear. We're looking to reinforce that. We're looking to explain it. And with children especially, so often the explanation is ourselves. Okay, there's something wrong with me. Because they internalize everything. Everything is about them. That's the way they make sense of the world initially, very developmentally appropriate, but they will then internalize those views, which then shape the core belief, which then is building a life on a foundation of fear, essentially. So let's go back to life passionate. Okay, if you have ADHD or you know you meet criteria for ADHD, your life passionate, yeah? Get your nervous system regulated. That's what I want you to focus on. And if medication is part of that pathway, great, so be it. It's not forever. It can be a crutch. It can be a great crutch, a great platform to start at baseline from, to begin to form new habits, to get the skills around discipline or whatever it is you want to foster in yourself. But I tell you what, the most powerful shift you can make is move away from the dysfunctional view you have of yourself. Start calling yourself life passionate.